Alright, so in this video I'm showing the modifications I made to my Skywatcher 200 PDS reflector, including mistakes I made or simply overlooked, and the adjustments I had to do afterwards. So it's an honest, real-world workflow with follow-up fixes so you can learn from my errors and avoid them in your own build. I also point out a few important details that I personally never saw mentioned in other videos or guides. Small things that really matter but are often left out. So enjoy the video. Okay, let's continue with pimping my 200 PDS Skywatcher telescope. Today I want to show you how to install a spider like this one. It's a holder for the secondary mirror here. And I want to show you how to attach this to your telescope and also how to install the secondary mirror here. That's a really nice thing. That's from aluminium, and this is really nice because it's very symmetrical and it's really thin here. So you will get a really nice, hopefully nice star pattern, let's say, with nice spikes. And I also will show you how to install this aperture mask here on my main mirror, and this will lead to really great images, especially with regard to nice looking stars. First we will take this ring aperture mask here, attach it here to this mirror, and then we will reattach it. But before we will do the reattachment to the scope, I will show you how to coat the inner side of this telescope to reduce internal reflections. So stay tuned and enjoy the video. Alright, so the first step is actually very simple. So you have some screws here, here and around here to attach this main mirror like this. And then you just unscrew, and then you can release your main mirror. So you also have an inner marking for your collimation here, like this one. And you also have those attachment screws and clamps here. They are responsible to hold your main mirror, but they also can cause some patterns, some reflection patterns you don't want to have. So you take your main mirror and then you can make yourself such an aperture mask here and just pull it like this and attach it using those screws here. And this we will do in the first step. First thing we have to do is to find the right position for the holes here, 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 here. So you have two screws each here, and now we have to find the right position. And for that I will try to use this chalk stick here. Maybe just try this without touching the main mirror, of course, if possible. Just press it or align a little bit and then press. So maybe like that. And now we have some markings here. I hope you can see those here, here and here. So this worked actually very well, and it's even quite symmetrical. Nice. Now let's drill the holes without drilling a hole in the main mirror. I will do the quick and dirty method here. Alright, I think that's pretty okay here. It's quite symmetrical. So let's loosen all the screws here. Please be careful not to scratch the surface of your main mirror. First you have your rubber here, and then you have some kind of metal plate, the shiny one here. And this is just pressing your main mirror down with a little flexibility, because you don't want to have any dents here. otherwise you will get some strange artifacts in your images. Alright, so now I also cleaned the edges here using a knife, carpet knife. Now it's pretty nice. Now let's attach the aperture mask to this main mirror. Of course you will have some dirt now. Let's use an air blower. Try not to use your mouth. And what I would do is here, take your rubber ring, then put your aperture mask on top, and then your metal plate to have like a sandwich here, like this. So here you have your rubber, here you have your aperture mask, on top the metal plate and the screws here. Just attach it. Try not to touch your main mirror. And now I'll just reattach it here. Do the rest with the other ones. They should look like that here. So don't make it too tight. It's just to hold the main mirror and your aperture mask. Just one more thing. So now you would say, yeah, now my main mirror is effectively smaller. Yes, it's smaller, but not very much. If you want, I can show you the calculation how much light you will lose due to the aperture mask. It's not very much. So now let's reattach the main mirror. So here you have a screw, here you have a screw, and here you have a screw. Okay, so we have the marking here, so you know this belongs to this side. And another important thing, here you have a spare part, and this belongs to, so here you have kind of a bigger part here. Okay, now you reattach your main mirror, you have your markings here, and this is also important. You have it reattached that your screw will fit, so it's not shifted to the left or to the right, so the screw will go in. So if everything is well aligned, it should be very easy to reattach the screws here. And otherwise this could also be a source for, let's say, light leaks. If it's not properly attached here. Now after you reattach the main mirror, you have to use a collimator here, like this one. Okay, now I attached my laser here. Make sure you don't look in the beam here, and it's actually not so bad. After I reattach the main mirror, it's almost in the middle. Let's use those screws here to collimate. So this is actually pretty well aligned, I would say. The laser beam is in the middle of or in the center of this white ring from the main mirror. That's actually very nice. Check this laser beam, it should also be in the middle, and for that one you have to use those screws here. These are for adjustment and these are just for tightening and loosening the main mirror. Alright, professional. Very fast today. Okay. So last night I had the chance to test my modification with the aperture mask I just showed you. And I came across a problem. The thing is, when you tighten the screws too much, you have some force and making the main mirror dent a little bit. And this can cause some strange artifacts or some strange star patterns like triangles, which I had, unfortunately. So actually I knew about this problem and I was actually extra careful not to tighten it too much, but it was too much. If you do this yourself, make sure you don't tighten this too much. So the problem is the screws, if you use the standard screws which hold the main mirror in place of the 200 PDS reflector, they are actually, depends which mask you're using. So my mask was actually quite thick. I will show you how much millimeters it was, but it was too thick, and so the screw was actually is actually too short. Somehow you have to manage to really fix the main mirror. So, but the other problem is when you tighten it too much, you get those star artifacts, which I had, as I said. So maybe I can show you now. So this is actually too thick for the screws. So without it's okay, but if you have a quite thick aperture mask like this one here, you actually need longer screws. So as I said, you have different possibilities how to pimp your 200 PDS, your refractor telescope. You can add an aperture mask to prevent strange shadows around your stars and star patterns. You can prevent some light leaks, for example using this shower cap here, which is quite dense. As you can see, it's really dense. You can put this on the end where your main mirror is to prevent light leaks, and you can also baffle or coat the inside of your scope to prevent secondary or other reflection, internal reflections. But when you look inside, what I show you now, and inside the tube of the 200 PDS, it's actually quite nicely coated, I would say. So I think in the future I will also do the coating, but actually it looks very nice. The only thing is when you look inside, so at the very end you can see the cap. So that's quite shiny, that's okay. But what you also can see is the extension for the focusing unit, which goes inside, is really shiny. You can really see this here in the footage. And this thing here, this is really shiny. That's the focusing or part of the focusing unit. I will use some black paint this extension which goes inside, and hopefully thereby reduce internal reflection. And this we want to do today. So first I have to disassemble the focusing unit with the EAF I have attached, so electronic focuser. Then paint this thing, let it dry, reassemble, and also the main mirror, and then hopefully I will get a clear sky to test this again, and hopefully I will not get such ugly triangle star shapes. So stay tuned. Okay, so what I will use is such a paint here. Focus. Okay, this stuff here is called Musu Black. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. And this is actually the blackest black you can get for your money. So I will use this one. But first we will detach this focusing unit here. So I'm too lazy to actually detach my electronic focuser first. good to know. There's a counterpart here inside the scope. Also try not to touch the secondary mirror, yeah, this one. And here's the inside with the counterparts. You also have to remove this. And this thing here, this is really shiny. That's the focusing or part of the focusing unit, and this we will paint black. Put the scope on top of a table that the screws cannot fall into your main mirror. Okay, ta-da! Now it's detached. This is the area we want to paint black. I think maybe I will connect the EF and make this part really go inside, full length. Yeah, I think I will do this. It's really shiny here at this side. Wow, crazy. And here you have the secondary mirror. Don't know if you can see this. Alright, so actually you don't need very much here. Actually only the USB cable for your electronic focuser, this one, and you just connect it here to have a power source and signal. And you just plug it in your computer. So you can either change the focus here and Nina, but I don't really like this. Or you can use this hand controller here for the focuser, which I bought from CWO. It's way too expensive, so it's completely overpriced, this stupid thing. And if you have some knowledge about electronics and so on, I'm sure it's not really difficult to build this yourself. I'm too lazy. So I bought this. You just plug it in here, makes a sound. And now start the camera here for you to see. You have a fast and slow mode. Here you have it. Now it goes inside. Hope you can see this. And now it goes outside. So all the way out, I would say. I think it already is all the way outside. You can see this here. If you look at this section here. So now it's, you can see. Yeah. So make that all the way in. I think that's okay. It's still running, but it's not moving anymore. And now let's paint this. So here's a USB connection, and this is the hand controller. Now I will paint it black. Shake well before using. Okay, nice shake. Store at room temperature and away from heat and direct light. When applying by airbrush, wear appropriate protection equipment and face mask. Do not paint in temperatures under 4 degrees or 41 degrees Fahrenheit, and when humidity exceeds 85%. Avoid contact with skin. The strength of coating is very low. Therefore, glossy and erosion of the coating can occur even with light contact. So here's also something written about the made in Japan. Wow, crazy. Okay. Ooh, this is black. Wow, 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 wow. Okay. Just try to apply this directly here. I did not do any sandpaper application or sandpaper modification here, so I will just try it. Oh, okay, that's the one. Wow, it's really black. Okay. Wow. So I'm not a master painter, right? Maybe I will do 2 coatings or something, I don't know. I did not read anything about how long it will take to dry, not to try, to dry. Maybe the coating is too thick. I'm using just a regular paintbrush here. Maybe I also try to paint the edges here, if you see something shiny. So that's direct sunlight, right? So as you can see, it's already starting to dry, and I'm actually very satisfied with the matte black. Yeah, that's not perfect now. I think I will do a second paint, but it's okay. But not too much, it should still move. I will leave it as it is now, let it dry, and then dries actually quite fast. About 50 minutes, it's completely dry. I tested it, but as you can see, I really have to make a second coating here, second layer, and this I will do now, and then I will wait again, test the focuser, and reattach everything again. Okay, let's wait maybe 1 more hour. Now that we are already painting, maybe I will paint this here as well, because it's quite shiny here, also here, especially here. Maybe I think I will detach the secondary mirror and paint it as well. So I will use such a, I think it's called Van Allen key. Make sure to hold your secondary mirror. Oh yeah, I think. Okay. So that's the secondary mirror here. I hope that's okay. Coating is dry, or the paint is dry. Looks actually very nice. And also here, coating is dry, looks quite nice, I would say. Now let's test the focuser. So first connect the hand controller if you have one, and the second one is a USB cable, like so. So best thing is maybe, because that's really black, excellent color, but maybe look here for the gap. So now it's going outwards or inwards. Okay, so that's a good test, because if you painted it too thick here, maybe it could cause some problems with the movement of the focuser, but it looks really nice. So now we can reattach the focusing unit here. As you remember, using those screws here and the counterparts. Maybe first only, yeah, like this. Okay. If you now look inside, you can see the shiny surface of the focusing unit. It's really reduced. Now we also connected those screws here and those here, and make sure afterwards you will most probably have some dirt here, so remove this before you reattach your main mirror there. In addition, I bought some new screws because the aperture mask is actually too thick here, so that's why I needed longer screws. And for that I used this one, or I'm using this one, those screws here with those with this diameter, and as you see I already painted it black. And for that one I also used this black paint I already showed you. I actually painted more than I need because the adherence or attachment of the black paint is not so good on metal, so that's why I'm doing this. First thing I will do is to attach the aperture mask. And now let's take the new screws. That's the one I painted here. And for comparison, this is the old screw. It's a little shorter. So first the rubber, then the aperture mask, and then you have this piece of metal here. This will go on top here, like this. And don't tighten it too much, otherwise you will get some strange star patterns. That should be fine, I think. Let's de-dust. Okay, so the main mirror is ready, hopefully. So actually the rubber is very loose here, but the mirror is, we have to do this again. Okay, now let's do the spider. Open this one. First, this white ring here. There are some screws here, here and around. And those are 6 screws in total. Just remove the ring. Try to remember how it was placed. I'm just using a tape in here. See? Now remove the spider using those 4 screws. And that's important, don't screw it here, just also hold it here, otherwise you can bend the spider. That's important. And you have those screws here. That's that mechanism here. You have your spider here. Now you take your secondary mirror with a mirror holder here, this screw. With the kit there was a spacer ring, this one, and you have your screw, and then you just attach your secondary mirror holder here, and just attach it here. Like this. So this one is still flexible here with a screw, so don't tighten it too much. And now use the 4 other screws. So you have 3 screws here, and you also have a marking here, so you know how to attach this here. So like this. So you have your main screw here, you have the worm screws here, here and here, and you have some flexibility here. So now this looks really nice. We painted this one black here, the mirror side. We have flexibility here, and now let's reattach this here. Another important thing is you have this part here where the tube is connected. or the metal is connected to form this tube. And here you also have some spares here. So this you have to take into account, like this. And here you also have the screw, like this. Okay. The mirror has to face down, so this I will do later. Here you have the screws, 4 screws within the kit. Nice. Now I tightened all the screws, four of them. And now we have to rotate the secondary mirror, that it's going like in this direction here. I think like that. It's actually very nice. Here's the focuser and here's the light, so it goes dong, dong. Now let's reattach the ring. If you remember, I made a mark here, so maybe that's important. Okay, and just use your screws, those here. We have our ring reattached, we have our new spider attached, we have our secondary mirror with the 3 adjustment screws here and this screw with a spring, and it's pointing in this direction. Okay, just one more thing I realized. Here now you have quite shiny screws here, 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 and here. Holding the new spider, and I think I will also paint it black. And here those screws are also quite shiny. I think I will also paint it black again. And there was also, when I bought the spider, there were the screws to connect the new spider, and there was such a black baffle strip. Maybe I will use this one, so you can either make it shorter and glue it here, so here, 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 or here, here, here. I'm not sure yet. I think I will just glue this here around, and then yeah, maybe paint those screws black. I think I will need less than half of this, yeah. Okay. Okay, like so. And now you cannot see this shiny screw here, and this I will do 4 times. Yippee. Yeah. Alright. So now all 4 screws here, 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 and here are covered with this black strip, baffle strip. Now I think those I will paint black, just a dot or something. And for that I will put the scope on the table. I think what you also can do, if you can't reach the other side, just put something here on this and just touch the screws. Okay, done. I think that's it. Just let it dry. Now let's just reinstall the main mirror, and then we can try. Alright, and now let's reattach the main mirror to the tube, and then we can already test it. Just use the screws, you have those here, and just reattach. Also here, keep in mind, you have this part here, and you also have a spare part here. This needs to go here. Okay, I have it in place here, and just use the screws and tighten the main mirror. And that's it. Ta-da! Now we reattach the main mirror here, and we have our spider, new spider, with the secondary mirror attached. Okay, now yeah, I would say let's test the tube. Hopefully there will be a clear sky tonight, so let's see. Alright, test night number 2. So I did the setup again during a wonderful, beautiful sunset. And then first I checked the collimation. So first that's completely out of focus, but this is really good to see if you have some kind of obstruction in your optical terrain and so on. And you can see it's not round here, the shape, so there's some kind of obstruction. If you just zoom in, so try to be in focus. So this is Vega. Of course, it's completely oversaturated. That's on purpose. And you can see some kind of, yeah, it's not equally bright, let's say. So I did some recollimation, and you can see some kind of obstruction on top here. And this is exactly the focusing tube going inside the tube. Due to my setup, I wasn't able to completely remove this. The only thing you can do here, which I did not do, is to cut this tube, focus tube. So again, I tried to be in focus to check Vega again after recollimation, and then I saw, yeah, this looks much better, I would say. On the right side, it's recollimated. Then I did test night number 3, and as you can see, winter finally came. Yes, it really worked. That's so cool. So I changed the, I added an aperture mask. I painted parts of the inside black, the focusing unit, and I also, of course, I also added a new spider for the secondary mirror to get new spikes. Not new spikes, but beautiful spikes. And look at that. That's so amazing. Wow, it's so cool and so cold. I think we have -8 now. And I'm just sitting here with a sweater. So wow, that's so cool. So this is how my stars looked before the modification on the left side, and this is on the right side. So much better. It's still not perfect, but this is mainly a issue of collimation. That has, as far as I know, nothing really to do with the hardware of the OTA. So also please keep in mind that this is Vega. This is really bright, one of the brightest stars. I used this on purpose, and I also intentionally oversaturated to see even small defects or effects, let's say. This is both 0.5 seconds with gain 100. So on the right side it looks much better after all the modifications. So this is really great. So it worked. That's great. Now I have M57 ring nebula. We'll do more images of the ring nebula, and that's so crystal clear. Wow. It's months ago I had such a nice night sky. Wow. Oh, look at that. That's a scope 200 PDS. Wow, that's so cool. So it really worked. I hope you like the video, try this yourself. You will really get much better stars. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Clear skies.